Hello, welcome to the RAMcast, where we talk about all things related to Sioux Valley. This is your host, Brian Kirby, and my co host, as always, Jimmy Sickler.
Happy to be here, Mr. Kirby.
All right, we are doing another special edition. We got a spotlight. Today is a new to Sioux Valley, Mr. Levi Lanning. Welcome, Mr. Levi.
Oh, thanks for having me in today.
Absolutely. Without further ado, let's get this show rolling. Should be good. All right, Mr. Lanning, let's start us off with some particulars, like what was the name of your high school, the town, state, and what was its mascot?
So I went to Robert Service High School in Anchorage, and we were the Cougars.
There's a couple of them service guys in the building.
There are, yeah.
Those hillside guys, you got to watch out for them. So,
All right. What song, band, TV show, or movie have you been listening to or watching lately, Mr. Lanning?
So I always listen to my favorite band. It's a band called the Delta Bombers. It's kind of a vintage throwback rockabilly band.
okay.
Nice. And on that note, do you do any singing of your own?
I absolutely do not.
Okay. Just checking. Your voice sounds like it could have like a bluesy tone to it.
All right. Hey, while you're roaming the halls of service there, what teacher, or I guess it could have been before that, but what teacher in your career has had the most impact on you, and what do you remember about them?
Actually, I spent some time over at the King Career Center, and my
Yep.
favorite teacher over there, I had two, Mr. Walsh, which is the welding instructor,
Okay.
and Mr. Y or Mr. Yelverton was the auto body instructor. Both of those guys definitely took some time out of their lives to teach me some skills that I'm passing on. So,
It's awesome. I was anxiously waiting if you were going to say the old King Career Center construction teacher or not, but you didn't. So okay.
All right. When you were in school, what was your favorite extracurricular activity?
I was a sports guy. So I did football and hockey. Played baseball for a couple years before that started intruding in onto off-season hockey stuff. But definitely those two sports, hockey and football.
And you're currently a coach right now. What sports do you coach? Or sport?
So I coach football. I am the offensive and defensive line coach for Reddington, and as of yesterday, I am the head baseball coach for Reddington.
Awesome.
All right. So what does Mr. Lanning do for fun outside of school?
So obviously, I love hot rods. So lots of my life revolves around that. That's the industry I come from. So I still have my shop and all my tools and equipment. So as much as I can get time to play over there, but home with the kids and family, I'm really into barbecue. Um,
Oh,
I got third place with my cooking team or my barbecue team at the Houston Rodeo and Texas Brisket. So I love spending some time on the smoker as well.
I will attest to his cooking abilities as he cooked for the staff earlier this year. It was really good.
yes, agreed. So when you were in school, what class did you find most enjoyable?
Uh, Classroom, like academic, or are we
Yeah.
talking King Career Center, or what are we
No,
talking?
Could be
any of those.
any classroom that you were in. So
Uh,
like, yeah, your welding
um,
class or your
I,
science
I
class.
I really really liked Mr. Y's auto body class. That was a
Oh,
fun environment. Educationally, like I say, let's say core curriculum wise, I had a lot of fun in Tammy Boland's motion picture class.
Oh,
That was a lot of fun as well.
oh. So, thinking about those classes, whom do you think you had the most meaningful relationships during your years as a student? And it doesn't have to be a teacher, it doesn't have to be students, it could be a counselor, it could be custodian, it could be a coach, it could be whoever.
Probably my football coach, Mr. Wilson.
Mr.
He
Byron.
was, yeah, he was, yeah, Brian Railson. Yeah, he even now is still coaching. I think he's 72. Um, I saw his daughter update something that he had left Oregon since the last time I heard, is now in Texas and has won state as a defensive coordinator in Texas. Like, the man can
Jeez.
coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What is something you have learned about yourself since you started working with students?
Um, I would say, like, I'm a lot more patient than I thought I was going to be. I thought, because beyond coaching, like my how do I want to say this? My dealing with kids has been your own kids, and dealing with
Right.
other people's kids is a little bit easier than dealing with your own kids. It's a little less frustrating.
Yep. True. True that. So, hey, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give your younger self, either entering service high school for the first time or leaving to do whatever post-secondary training you chose to do?
Um, I would have got into teaching sooner. Um,
Mm,
I could tell a whole story about why I got into teaching. Um, but I would have done this a lot earlier than 44.
Yeah, good advice. What is one of the most memorable moments you've had with your students?
Um, I would just say, like, some of their abilities in my middle school wood shop. I'm gonna be honest. I think some of their skills are better than mine right now. At
Wow.
some of what they do, like, they are so creative and so detailed with their scroll saw work that I find it really impressive.
Very cool.
middle school kids in the shop are definitely cool. I mean, you definitely see lots of growth in those students. It's pretty awesome. I will attest to that. So, I know you're a short time. Well, not even that because you've been around students coaching. But what was one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to you in front of students?
All right, so that's pretty easy. So this year, for those who don't know, Reddington has had a down year for football for the last couple of years, and we had gone to Kodiak and beaten Kodiak on their field, but came back, and like I said, we hadn't won on our field at home um, until since they had won state in 2021. And so on a day, it was my birthday, and we played Kodiak. It was at our field, and then after the game, we had won. We're all fired up. I turn around from shaking hands. The entire student section that was at the school, all of my football players had lined up, got together, and were serenading me "Happy Birthday" in front of the entire stadium. At
Yes.
at which, while I'm standing there, a couple of my senior football players had grabbed the Gatorade jug full of water and gave me an ice bath.
Ooh.
And then we had to stay and do homecoming, and chaperone homecoming. So I was soaking wet at doing homecoming, and it was so funny. Like, I'm walking out, and my one of some parents I have coached since their kid was in Pop Warner was just like, "Oh, geez, Levi, is it? Wouldn't you just kill to be anywhere else on your birthday?" And I just remember my wife just looked over and goes, "There's nowhere else he needs to be than right here."
Yeah,
So,
I like it. That's good. That's a good one.
Nice. So we get out of school around May 23rd. What's your summer plan?
this year I'm just working on my house, trying to get my house finished up. I am building a nice big house in Big Lake. At least trying to get the interior finished so that we can move in. That's my goal this summer.
When a
Nice.
because the big question is when a person builds their own house, is it ever truly done? I don't think so.
I mean, I don't already have plans for a shop and then a sauna, bathhouse, and
Yep.
a barn, and and
Yep. All right. So one final question. Is there anything else you'd like to add that we have not talked about?
No, no. Today, been a pretty good conversation. So,
Awesome. I appreciate it. Nice short. I think it was good. I enjoy it. And so this is going to conclude our special edition here with Mr. Lanning. And once again, this is Mr. Kirby, principal here at Sioux Valley. And I want to thank Jimmy, my co-host, as always.
Thank you for having me.
And I also want to, once again, thank Mr. Levi Lanning here as our special guest. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
of course, not a problem.
All right. I hope you guys out there have enjoyed this podcast as another way to connect to our Sioux Valley community. Hope to see you at the next school event or around in the community. Thanks for listening.